Episode 264 of Apartment Hacker. This is Mike Bernard, Apartment Hacker. It is my mission to tease out human potential in the multifamily space. Back in, let's say it was 1995, I owned a landscaping business. At the same time, I was breaking into the single-family home real estate industry, working for RE/MAX. In my landscaping company, I was telling this story today, I had instant gratification in the fact that I could pull up to a house and in roughly 12 minutes flat, the team that I worked with and myself, we could mow a yard and edge it and blow everything off of the sidewalks in about 12 minutes. And there was instant gratification in that. We could pull up, we got out, we knew exactly where we were to go, exactly what we were to do. In 12 minutes, we were done. And we could look at the fruits of our labor in the sense that the yard that was a mess when we pulled up or just overgrown was immaculate by the time we left. And it just fired off some of that dopamine in your mind, and it just you had this instant great feeling. Property management, the multifamily space, leadership in this space is not like that. I think that sometimes leaders think that, or you get the sense that, hey, I'm going to tell people how to do things. I'm going to show people how to do things. They're immediately going to get that, and I'm going to see the fruits of my labor, meaning the time I invest in those folks. Guess what? It does not work like that. And you can't get frustrated at the fact that it doesn't work like that. Here's the reality. Roughly 10% to 20% of our population, meaning the people that work in the multifamily space, get it. And they're aspirational. And you have to do little bits and pieces to motivate them and create fire in their drive, right? And they're just going to go get it done. The middle 60%, they're not necessarily going to respond. You might be able to take a small sliver of that 60% and get them to respond and move them into that group of aspirational people that are just going to run as fast as you can, or as fast as they can. And then there's a bottom 20% of the people who are never going to do it. It doesn't matter how much time you invest in them, they're never going to do it. So what you have to resign yourself to the idea of, or the fact of, is that 20%, right, you work with them the best you possibly can, and until they either decide to self-select out or you have to coach and manage them out. The middle 60, you focus your attention and your time on the people that you think that you can move from that space to the other space, but you also believe that a certain percentage of those people are just role players and they are necessary to be around in your organization. And guess what? You love them just as much as you love everyone else. You just know they're there to put in an 8-hour shift or a 9-hour shift and get paid, and they go home and it's okay. It's fine. The other group of people that are on a fast track, you have to pay attention to them too, but you have to resign yourself to the idea that that's just how it is. You're not going to pull up to the multifamily yard, if you will, mow it, edge it, blow it, and see the fruits of your labor and be inspired by that. It's just not going to happen. You're in a long game, a super long game. We're talking multi-decades of time before you might see the fruits of your labor. And guess what? You may never see those seeds that you plant grow into big oak trees or big, nice, beautiful plants. It may not be your job to take some of those folks from where they are today to that aspirational group of folks. It may not be your job. You just invest everything that you can into them to the extent that it makes sense, and then resign yourself to the idea that that is someone else's harvest. All right? I think to the extent you could do that and you stop growing in anxiety over the idea that you are going to influence and impact every single person that ever crosses through the threshold of your office, you'll live a much better life of leadership. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.